Chair, simply put, there's no such thing as too much information when it comes to research and development. This is because the plurality of knowledge allows for the negotiation of such information when it comes to the marketplace of ideas. It will allow the world to constantly question whatever information you provided, and it will never go untouched. Under their model, they want these companies, the self-interested, evil companies as they'd like to portray them, full capacity to make whatever information they want seem real and absolutely true, without any counterbalance, without any counter-check from that of academies. And that, Mr. Chair, is the saddest mistake that they've made in today's debate. Because under their logic, you will still have these information out there considered and recognized as acceptable and legitimate because these researchers within those companies will also have degrees wherever they're studying. So it means there's still legitimate information. So that kind of logic won't fly in today's debate. I'll further show you how the negative side of today's debate, one, based on 2 points of clash. First, is there an inherent harm to pluralistic and multi-sourced information? Basically, whether or not the academia should play a part in this as well. Second, where is quality information and research best achieved? Let's go to the first question, the inherency of the harm of this kind of information. They argue that the corporations have overpowering control on the academic discourse based on 3 levels. Let's go to the first one. They claim that they are so rich that they can control the results to their favor. Mr. Chair, let's look back into the 50s when smoking was a big issue in America, where there were so many smoking companies proving that smoking isn't bad and it's actually healthy if you smoke more cigarettes. Of course, even without, for example, corporations funding information that will counter that, they still, Mr. Chair, had a lot of individuals proving that it was deadly, mostly because people were dying in the streets of Manhattan because of the amount of cigarettes they were taking in. It means that research was still possible even given this, but the best part about it, Mr. Chair, was that because of this research that proves that it was unhealthy and there was no way for corporations to counter that, what happened next was they proved and made research so that the harms of smoking can be minimized. It means even these corporations will obviously be smart enough not to go with an absolute lie and stick with it forever. Research will always be about facts, will always be about things that you can prove. And these are things that the academe can help them with as well. The academe will benefit with being a part of the negotiation of this kind of information. Mr. Chair, in the end, you can't make lies into truth just because you have money. I'm not sure how they do it in their side, but realistically, no matter how much money you have, you won't make up actual facts. The second level of this analysis is that they claim people who might want to counter this information will get so scared that they're up against the big bucks. Never mind that their third affirmative speaker contradicted their entire team by saying that they're willing to depend on other sources of information to now fill in the blocks or the lacking of taking away corporation funding. It means they also have money. It means we can make sure that there will still be research, and that's the solution that they wanted anyway, so the harm isn't even real. But more than that, we say that it's not sure why it would be like this, because really it's not like they're poor anyway. These countering institutions are also rich and capable. Greenpeace, the United Nations, World Wide Fund, UNESCO, etc. Sorry. These are institutions which have a lot of money coming in from very different and large institutions as well. So if you're talking about the big bucks, they're also just as rich. And beyond that, they never responded to the analysis coming from our side as well, that these corporations will also be smart enough to start researching things that will be beneficial that they want. Green energy, Mr. Chair, is being researched more by corporations than they ever will be by that of the state because they cannot afford it. So under that logic, Mr. Chair, there's already a social good, so that's good. We're okay with it already. But then the next level of the analysis for this is that they claim information is inherently against the social good. Never mind, they never actually proved this. They just kept on asserting that research, for example, to show smoking is healthy is bad. Mr. Chair, if we can find research out there that smoking is healthy and it's something that won't kill you, that will make me feel much better about Ellie's lifestyle. It would make, ladies and gentlemen, everyone so much happier not to blame smoking for something that isn't actually for it to blame for. Meaning, information, as long as it is real, is a social good. It doesn't matter if it seems like it's counterintuitive with certain state standards right now, because those things change. We've proven that with showing you Galileo. We've proven that showing you every single other scientific research out there. We think it's quite ridiculous for them to say that the only thing that's good is for you to agree with the state right right now because that won't help you in the end. Social good, Mr. Chair, apparently coming from third act, is when you allow these companies to have a certain level of social good, i.e. commerce. Well, letting them research, Mr. Chair, and having that validated by another institution, by the academe, is also going to help the commerce because we're going to make sure we don't kill people out there because they're basing their research simply on their own money and simply on their own research institutions, which you claim to be faulty. In the end, Mr. Chair, we think that the need for funding is something they still haven't addressed, given the fact that we stand firm that there will still be a large difference between money coming from these corporations and these institutions. We think right now it's sufficient to counter it, but it's still better when we have this number of companies giving us money. But then they next claim, these companies can research on their own. Why do you involve Boston College? Mr. Chair, I don't understand their logic. They think that these companies are evil and are total liars, but they're willing to leave them on their own completely to give information to the world. It's not as if the scientists will suddenly lose their degree and their diploma and their 6 CVs just because they work in a corporation. They will still be just as legitimate. They will still use this information to fool people out there, and you will still have to give them their money when you buy their cigarettes. In the end, Mr. Chair, there is no real loss. If anything, there is an inherent benefit in having the academe who cares about their reputation, who cares about other companies hiring them and proving that they're not liars, and things like these will actually help us make sure that the information is double-checked. So really, everyone saying that people don't know where the information comes from is actually detrimental to them. Because under that logic, information coming from these companies will still be there and accepted by the individuals out there. Second question. Where is quality information and research best achieved? They claim that academia becomes the corporate bitch now. Basically, they control the money. We will do anything and everything that you want to do. Mr. Chair, as much as I want Robin to have a great career as a researcher if he so desires, I don't think he'll have enough money when corporations decide to abandon a lot of these things because it's no longer an actual option. Because really, a lot of research is being done in the academia are normally funded by corporations to begin with. It means that they won't even have research at all if you don't even have these corporations there to give them the money that they need. In the end, Mr. Chair, we think as long as those information are factual, we don't care if it's tilted towards proving a certain goal because in the end, if it's faulty, it will be disproved. First negative will care about they forgot the entire analysis coming from the first negative of it being important to care about their own reputation and preserving the truth. But the next idea under this question, they said that there is a crime of omission happening because you don't fund anti-corporation research. As a corporation, you have failed. Mr. Chair, I think it's inherentwistic to argue that these corporations focus on things that help themselves. But that doesn't mean that they can't give us actual facts. It's the same logic as saying that they have an inherent incentive to win. Thus, by saying that, we shouldn't listen to affirmative anymore. That isn't true because we are here to disprove whatever they say and to show you that it is still legitimate to think like this. We think in the end, even if there is a sin of omission, this sin of omission is being rectified by a lot of other factors out there in the world. Affirmative never responded to the lack of funding. They never responded to the lack of absolute academic research. When you take away a huge chunk of its financing, people want to research even if it's not countering to what the state rules right now. Will never happen. That's why negative should go to the